Alright, what's going on YouTube? Welcome to our part 2 video of our Dodge Charger Pursuit rebuild. If you didn't catch the last one, I just picked this up from auction for $3,300. It has the 5.7 liter V8, all-wheel drive, and about 150,000 miles. So go check out that video if you haven't seen it already. So in today's video, my goal is to get this thing drivable. So I'm going to work on getting that power steering pump replaced, refill all that fluid, because then hopefully we do have power steering, and we can get this thing out on the road and see how it drives. And then I'm also going to be replacing some fluids, doing a little bit of maintenance, and adding these headlights. So I swapped out the fogged headlights for these custom ones. And then doing a few other things. I am waiting on a bunch of parts, so there's not a whole lot I can do at this point, so I'm going to do what I can. But biggest thing, if we could get this thing drivable, that would be awesome. Before we get into this video, I just want to thank you all so much for your support. Last video, we got over 1,000 likes and a couple hundred comments. So I really appreciate all the support and feedback. I've learned a lot. Like for this, I did not realize this thing had ballistic glass and door panels. So when I opened this up, this front door, I noticed felt especially heavy. You really do have to kind of slam it a little bit. And so I was wondering what was going on with that. I thought maybe it was the spring or something. But turns out these Pursuits have ballistic glass and door panels. So that is a super, super awesome thing that I did not know, that I learned from you guys. All right, so let's get going. I'm gonna go ahead and start with the oil change. We'll get that done and then go from there. Alright, so now that I got the oil change, I'm going to replace that air filter and then the cabin air filter, and then I'm going to start installing these headlights. I cannot wait to see the headlights with this thing. Alright, so I want to show you guys the air filter. So this thing is still pretty clean. So this is cool. I'm sure that parts like this were changed out pretty frequently, at their regular intervals. I did see that we have the oil sticker up here on the window. So mileage due 151,000 miles. Was due a few months ago, so we are in September, so almost half a year late, but the mileage is good. Let's get these things replaced. All right, you guys, I got this first headlight put in, and I'm telling you right now, this was the best $350 purchase ever. So, take a look at these. Now let's go look at the old one real quick, so you guys can get a little comparison. And now let me show you guys what these things can do. Take a look at that. So it is just a Bluetooth app, so you can go through, pretty much do any color. You can even do the RGB wheel. I think green looks pretty sweet, especially with the green paint. And you can even do different styles, so yellow flashing. Let me turn the lights off so you guys can get a better look. So there really is just an endless amount of customization with these, which is cool. And then you also do have the classic white as well. So that's cool. I don't know what it is about these Dodge Charger headlights and red DRLs that just look so menacing. So I honestly couldn't be happier with these headlights. I needed new headlights anyway because ours were all fogged up, so I figured I may as well spend a little bit more and get them with the customizable daytime running light. If you don't like the colored daytime running lights, once again, you can always just rock the pure whites, but just having the option to cycle through any color on demand from your phone is really cool. All right, so now I just have to replace the passenger side headlight, and then I can go ahead and get that front bumper installed again. There is a look at the new headlights. I wish this thing wasn't on jacks, so we could pull it out and get a better look at it. We're kind of tight on room in the garage. It is cool. So if you go to this setting, it just turns on those daytime running lights. So if you ever wanted those without the actual headlamps, you can do that. I did swap out the bulbs with some LEDs. So I think what I'm going to do now is just a few little things. I've never liked these orange and red side markers. I think it kind of takes away from the look. So I'm just going to go around and light smoke these. And then I am also going to light smoke the red on the tail lights. So I'm going to do those things real quick just to kind of play around with the look of the car while I wait on everything else to come. Got most of them tinted. So I got those front side markers, the rear ones, and then I have the tail light partially done. I want to get your guys' opinion. I definitely like this more than the original. So I still haven't wrapped this red and then both of those pieces right there. I think I might want to go a little bit darker. So if you guys could let me know if you like this, just the light smoke, super subtle, kind of gets rid of a little bit of that red while still keeping the OEM look. Or if I should go a darker tint, so this is kind of all blacked out. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is disconnect the negative battery terminal, install the coolant temperature sensor, as well as get that new pump in, and then fill all of that power steering fluid. So I'm gonna work on that right now, and then hopefully after that, we can go and get it out on the road. All right, so I'll show you guys. So I was working on changing out the sensor, and I realized that the current one in there is not even plugged in. So as you can see, there's the old one, and it's not even plugged into anything. There's a cut wire right here. So I assume, coming off this harness, so I assume that this cut wire is probably what went to that sensor. So that's probably the culprit as to why it's throwing that code. I'm not entirely sure why that would have been cut. All right, real quick, I want to show you guys how massive these brakes are. So for those of you who don't know, these are the BR9 brakes. Not sure if they come standard on all Pursuit models. These things are huge, and supposedly they're even better than Hellcat brakes. That's what I've heard. So I'm not gonna have to do a big brake upgrade, once we get some power mods going. So this is the size of a Honda Civic brake rotor. So I am super excited about that. That was something I honestly didn't even realize until I started doing some research and getting some input from you guys. So these brakes are gonna be here to stay. So now that I have the wheel off, I'm gonna remove this fender liner. So that way we can kind of start to get a look at where that drip is coming from. Okay, so I wanna show you guys the drip. So here is that power steering pump. See, it's dripping right there. So hopefully once we get this new pump installed, that drip will be gone. All right, just got the power steering pump out. So I got everything disconnected. So I'll give you guys a quick little look. Oh, wow. I should not have tipped it like that. I'm pretty sure that this was the culprit of that power steering fluid leak. And hopefully, getting that replacement one in there will take care of that. So I'm gonna fit up that new one, get it all reconnected, and then refill it. And yeah, we'll see if we've got power steering. So I ordered a used power steering pump. This was just a used one I got off of eBay for about $250. But when it came, it arrived damaged. So what I actually decided to do was hit up a local junkyard. I saw they had a few Dodge Chargers within that year group. I got there and it was stripped from every single Charger. And then I came across this Chrysler 300. I know they're interchangeable, so I got super lucky with that. And while I was there, I saw this other Charger that had these Hellcat replica wheels. And so I did end up picking them up for $30 each. I only got 3 of them, and the 4th one did have a hole, but I'm just gonna replace that one. These are 20-inch Hellcat replica wheels. As you can see, they do need a little bit of fixing up, so I'm gonna sand them down, repaint them, but these are gonna look awesome with the wide body. So this size and offset of this wheel is going to work with the all-wheel drive since these do poke out. I got the one that I just picked up from the junkyard. all cleaned up and reinstalled. So now is the moment of truth. I'm gonna go ahead and get that fluid filled and we'll see if we have a leak. All right, so I got the pump all filled up in there. Let's come hop in here and moment of truth. Boom. There we go. We've got power steering again. All it took was a $50 pump from a junkyard. So now I'm gonna go take this thing out. So we'll go see how it feels, how it shifts, how it drives. Just gonna try to put my seatbelt on, but this is what we've got so far. So I guess we're going no seatbelt. All right, so first impressions, it does pull a little bit to the left, so we'll probably need an alignment. It feels great, feels really smooth. It shifts nicely. Temperatures all look good. I'm not hearing any weird sounds, so that's good too. But yeah, it feels super smooth. It's shifting really nice. The brakes feel amazing. So I probably have a little bit more life left on those pads and rotors before I have to change them out. But you can definitely tell they are upgraded brakes. It feels big. It feels like I have a big road presence. Man, this thing picks up and goes. If you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button so you can follow with this build. In the meantime, I am gonna take this thing to a Dodge dealer and just have them kind of do a full inspection, look over everything, look at the transmission and a few other things. But yeah, we got our interior transformation up next. So we're gonna be getting this interior totally fixed up. I've got this full carbon fiber steering wheel. I also found a donor scat pack, so I'm getting some awesome scat pack seats, and then we're gonna get working on the wide body kit and adding some power mods. But yeah, it'll be awesome. So thank you for watching if you made it this far, and I'll catch y'all later.